Hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me, mother? Good day to you and everyone. Get to be part of live today. Yay! Hi, Pammy. Inspire you to draw and doodle. Awesome. That's what we're about. Inspiring you to spend some time with your sketchbook or your journal or whatever it is you want to do. Your planner. Anything. Pammy, are you the one who I'm supposed to have sent some stickers to, like many moons ago? I think literally the day before COVID started. Or is it a different name? I know it's Pam or Pammy something, but I don't know if it's you. If it is, I'm going to try and sort it on Friday. I've got to go to the doctor's, so I might as well pop in the newsagents and get a stamp. And hopefully get everything sent off. If it's not you, just pretend you know what I'm talking about and go, okay, that's great. How are we doing, guys? I have something fun today. It's not you. Okay, it's a different Pammy. I have something fun today. I've got something fun. So, I did the usual thing of... Hang on, where's my address? It's that side. Okay. I did the usual thing, because it's September, of... Do I really want a Hobonichi this year? Or would I rather spend the ridiculous amounts of money on something else, because I've already got a Moleskine? Do I really need a Hobonichi planner? Well, this came up on cheap on Amazon. It's a... Hi, Maddie. Shush. Come on. Be a good girl. Go sit down. Oh, belly rubs. Belly rubs for Maddie. Belly rubs for Maddie. Sorry. Maddie stopped play. There you go, baby girl. She's all hyped up because she's just talking to her grandpa on FaceTime. Yeah, I found something that I've wanted for, oh, absolutely forever. But it used to always be really expensive. Like the cheapest I've ever seen them was, I think, £68. And that was back in the days when you used to also... Hi, Sap. That was back in the days when you used to also have to pay European customs fees and stuff. Now, Amazon doesn't do that anymore. They deal with one of the few, very few perks of Brexit is that they actually deal with all the custom fees for you. So, I managed to get... I'm sorry, I'm looking for something to cut the tape with. I managed to get something that I've been after for a very long time. Oh, I'll use a pen. It'll work, right? There we go. And it was £35 plus £14 shipping from America, which is still quite a hefty sum, but cheaper than a Hobonichi. And I also managed to find out that the shop that sold it had the other sketchbook that I really like. Oh, where is it? It was literally just there. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It got buried. Hold on. This A5 Art Alternatives sketchbook that I really like. They actually had these in stock as well. And they added one on and billed me for it without adding any extra postage. So that was cool. So this is upside down. So the packaging is going to be entertaining. Oh, it's packed upside down. Where's my... One second. Hold that thought. There you go. Hyatt's on Amazon is where I got it from. And I'm very happy. Let me get the box out of the way. So, because you can't see much with the box anyway. So the first thing I have is another one of these, which makes me, yeah, that's all paper, extremely happy. I'm extremely happy because I've got a new one of those. So it's all nice and new and ready to be moved into as soon as I finish the other one. 36 pages left and then I can move into this one. So probably about Halloween-ish time, I expect I'll be able to move into this. Very happy with that. Then I got me one of these. It was not as heavy in the box as it is out of the box, actually. It's kind of weird. It feels heavier than it was when it was in the box. But yeah, this is the really big stupid sketchbook, as Bun calls it. Let me just try and... Yeah. That's huge. Admittedly, I've got little chubby gnome hands, but... Let me show you, in comparison, something you will know that understand the size of. So my usual book that I use is 10 by 7.5. No, 10 by 8. Which is the size of a large moleskin. XL moleskin, sorry. Actually, that would be easier to show you on camera. That's my XL moleskin. Compared to the size of this. So it's... not far off double for one page. It's a big beast. It's a big 600-page beast. It's really thick. I mean, you know that 600 pages is going to be thick. That's 600 pages, 300 sheets. You know it's going to be thick. But I don't think I realised it was going to be this thick. And you know it's going to be big. And this doesn't look too big. But then you do that. And I'm like, okay. This is going to be fun. Hey, Pelican. So, this is exactly the same paper. So it's the paper I love, but in a really big sketchbook. Now, do I know how I'm going to use this sketchbook exactly? Not really. Not really. But I don't really have purposes for my sketchbooks. I just use sketchbooks. So this is going to be entertaining. It's going to be really entertaining. Bun's had hers, I think, for 2 years, and she's repurposed it twice. And now it's a patterns book, and I think she's done about 10 pages in it. So we have an informal kind of non-monetary wager on who's going to finish first. It is a beast. Not going to lie, it does feel a little bit daunting. Hang on, £75 paper. That's, I think, the same as this, if I remember correctly. Let me where's the other one? Let me double check. I don't work in pounds usually. Yeah, 110 sheets of £75 paper. It's exactly the same paper. So this is not getting used yet. This is going over on my cabinet. I only bought that. I didn't really need to buy it just yet. You're abandoning it. There's no wager anymore. Screw it, I'm done. I like a challenge. And yes, I'm lazy. And yes, it may take me 10 years to do it. But I like a challenge. Damn, I wish I could have got hold of one of these 10 years ago when I really wanted one, because wouldn't this have made the most amazing book of shadows? Like, the most amazing book of shadows. You've shoved it under a bookshelf and have no intention of working in it. It flattens other artwork for you. That's kind of a shame. That is kind of a shame, because I was looking forward to your book of patterns. I thought that would be really cool. You don't like the paper with wet with wet media? That's interesting, because I do. I really like it for just about anything. Interesting. I think mostly what I want to do in this is just pen drawing. Mostly. And just have it out. I've got it in my head that it's going to be like a coffee table book. And boom. Oh, I don't intend to put it on a scanner. I'll just put my phone on its stand. I've got a stand thing for my phone, and I'll use the scanning app. That's no good if you want to print it, obviously. Anything more than anything, really. But you're using letter A4 size for a book of shadows and it's too big. See, I like a challenge. I love a challenge. I've got my my handmade book that Lexingview made me that I write in, and it's gorgeous, and it's not much different to this, except it's not 600 pages because it's a junk journal. You need to be able to scan it, yeah. Although if you've got a decent camera, you could tripod it down. That's too much effort, isn't it? Yeah, that's never going to happen. Yeah, we are so very similar, right? Completely different things. But no, I would just get out my phone and use the scanning app. But I don't need high quality printing, so. But I don't intend to use this for anything that would require high quality printing. And there's also the fact that I have a big ass A3 scanner. So although it wouldn't scan 2 pages, it would happily scan 1 page. And I could then stitch it together and fix it. So I do have an A3 scanner. I honestly, I don't really care about making art that I'm gonna need high quality copies of. And to be honest, my photography skills are not that amazing anyway, and I'm certainly not a perfectionist. So I don't think it'll be as much of a challenge for me as it probably is for you. But I think it's going to be fun. I only hate scanning because I have to move everything to get to my printer scanner. My big scanner isn't a problem. My big scanner is set up in a cupboard in the kitchen. All I've got to do is open the door, lift off the lid and whack something on it. Which is actually easier than trying to get to this scanner. But I'm lazy. Don't ask. Yeah, I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the... Hey, Melody. I'm up for the challenge. Honestly, even if I only ever used one side of the paper, I would be happy with that. I can see now, though, with the weight and the size of it, why you didn't like the fact that it didn't lie very flat. But also, I can see why this would be impossible to use on an easel. You just couldn't do it. This is definitely one of those lean over it kind of books, or have it on a writing slope kind of thing. Definitely. And I would worry about how sturdy this binding was for thickening it up as well. I don't have any problem with the binding on the other one, but this is so chunky, I wouldn't add lots of bulk to this. Paint alone and ink would be enough. But I do have this in my mind of just having a big coffee table sketchbook that you know, just when I feel like drawing in it, I just open it up and draw in it, and it just sits. I don't have a coffee table even, but I do have a kitchen table, and I'd be quite happy to put it on the kitchen table, and then, you know, when my mum and dad come round and get them to draw in it or write in it or something or whatever, you know, just fun, just like a fun book. I just have that idea in my head. So this may well end up sitting on the kitchen table and being just maybe it'll be something that I use first thing in the morning when I sit and drink my coffee at my kitchen table, which I can now get to. Has she been cleaning? She has. Well, tidying. Clearing out. Yes. Clearing out. Let's call it clearing out. It makes a good paint palette. Well, the way I figure it, if I really do decide that I hate it, and so far in the time I've had it, the one thing that I'm struggling with, my wrist is already starting to hurt here where I keep picking it up and down. So it's going to have to be out where I can just open it and work in it. I'm not going to be able to put it away somewhere where I have to keep getting it out and putting it away. It's got to be out on a table somewhere. But apart from that, I don't really envision having any issues in it, personally. But I like big books. And I cannot lie. So, yeah, very excited to start playing in this one. Very excited. And as I was going to say and didn't, I figure if all else fails... Oh, yeah, I could see a kid absolutely loving this. I would have loved this. Even as a teenager, I would have loved this, to just draw in. Absolutely. Would have been my favourite thing ever. If all else fails, I can glue around the outsides, cut out the bit in the middle, turn it into a storage box, and I've still got A4 paper, right? I mean, that's the way I'm thinking of it. And I love this paper, so I can still turn... In fact, I could cut out the paper to a size that I could then fold it over and turn it into some more of these other ones. Some more of these size ones, if I wanted to. So, that would actually work. Could just chop off all of that and just have like 8 of these. So, that'll be okay. I'll figure it out. But I do, hey Rach, I do want to try it because I've been hankering after it. Hankering after it. Actually, what I'd do would be to take out the book block, use like stiff card or something around the outside and turn it into a storage box. And then I'd have all this paper, but without the heavy cover. And I could literally just pull off chunks or sections of paper to have really nice big sheets to work on, to work things out on. That might be what I'd do with it. That would be the alternative. So, yeah, watch this space. Maybe in about 18 months, I will decide, you know what? This is a bit too big and heavy. I'm going to take all the paper out and I'm going to turn the box into a storage box. See, you could do that with yours, you know. You could turn it into a storage box and then just give all the paper to Roman. There you go. Dead. I feel like I need to try it. It's something I've always wanted to do. But the size of it, my goodness. Those people who filled one of these in 30 days, they were off their chumps. What the hell were they thinking? Like, why? Why would you? Why? Why? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anyway, are we going to use this today? What do you think? I don't have anything planned. I've been watching the pomp and ceremony that's been going on all week because I'm not really a royalist, but I did like the Queen. I do kind of like the royal family. I don't like what they stand for, but as people I like them. And it's fascinating. The history is fascinating. So History Nerd is lapping it up. Just put it back on Roman's table with some crayons. Well, if it keeps him out of your A5 Hobonichi, I mean... A5, no, 5-year. If it keeps him out of your 5-year Hobonichi. So, yeah, that's the unboxing. Other stuff, if you go in my coffee shop, link down below, you can sign up for the, what's it called? Halloween Chronicles, which is Alice in Wonderland based this year. We also have the Christmas Chronicles is available. That's going to be Raymond Briggs based. If you're not familiar with Raymond Briggs, then that's the author of The Snowman who passed away in August. Hi, John. Also, When Frogs Sing 2023, for those of you who like to start paying for the year long all in one go or in installments before Christmas, you can do that as well. That's available. And I'm rebooting the Spring Chronicles, which seems weird, but you know, we clear out in the spring, but we also nest down in the fall. So I've got some stuff to do around the house. I need some help. I need some people to suffer with me. So if you're already in the Spring Chronicles or you would like to join the Spring Chronicles, I'm starting that up again, and I already have a task to do by next Tuesday. So as before, because it's a clearing out and cleaning our spaces thing, everything in there is confidential. So there's no, we don't post our stuff on social media unless you want to. We don't share it with outside the class or anything like that. We really don't talk about it. It's spooky cleaning season. Exactly. It's when we take down the cobwebs and hang up fake ones. Seems weird. Would I consider, hey Jordan, would I consider remaking my Book of Shadows in a very big sketchbook? No. I don't use my Book of Shadows like that. Things change and move and... No, I don't have a traditional Book of Shadows like that. I have lots of different Books of Shadows. I'm perfectly happy with the one I've got. I don't need this big ass thing. But 10 years ago, when I first saw this, that's what I wanted. I did want to make a Book of Shadows in this. That's what I wanted to do. But now I'm like, well, I've already got it all together and I'm adding things constantly and my system works, so why am I going to change it? Nah. I would consider using it as a big journal. That would be interesting. But it would be like a sketchbook journal, like an illustrated journal. It wouldn't be like writing. I'm not a writer. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it, but we'll do something. So, what do I want to do? What do I want to do, guys? What do I want to do? Oh, I did work out the other day, actually, if I can find it. I can never find anything. I keep putting things away and I can't find them. There we go. No, that's not it. No, it's gone walkabout. I was going to use my big sketchbook because I worked out that if I did a spread in it every week, I would finish it by the end of the year just from doing these live streams. But I can't even see where it is. That's my class one. It's not my regular one. Where is my big one? I don't know. Oh, it might be over on the other table, in which case I'm not getting up. It is big. It is. It's big. Whoa, Nelly, it's big. But I think it'll be fun. It needs to be propped up. It needs to be more kind of that height. It needs to be 4 inches at the back, slant. At least writing desk slant, if not slightly higher. It really does. I can't even reach over the top of it. It's so big. So I don't think I'm going to work in this on camera. I don't think that's probably ever going to happen. Maybe you'll see snippets Maybe I'll start doing reels or something for it, or YouTube shorts or something. I don't think this is ever going to happen on camera because it's just too unwieldy. It really is very, very unwieldy. So, whew. This has basically come back to being like an illustrated journal type thing. So this is what we did last week, or last time, sorry, in here. And I've done some more stuff since. I'm very into just drawing with a pen in this one. Although I do add colour. Whoops, sorry. I forgot. On my other one, I've moved... In fact, I'm going to do that. Hang on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. There we go. I've done this on the other one as well because I had to shift my camera. There you go. Now I don't have to keep shifting the wrong way. September colours. Bit of September the 1st, of course, is the first day of Halloween. Hang on, I have to... There we go. Sorry, I have to click off. Some washi tape that Bun sent me. She keeps me supplied in washi tape. Spooky stuff. It's awesome. Just drawing everyday stuff, really. The book I'm reading. My new washing machine. I love my new washing machine. It's so quiet. My old one sounded like a jet engine taking off. And this one, I don't even hear it when it finishes. It's so quiet. I love it. Decided to capture the rainbow over Balmoral. Loved this when I first did it. I did the drawing in pen and I did the rainbow in watercolour, and I just coloured the flag in pen just to draw attention to it, that it was at half-mast, obviously. And then I decided to watercolour, and then I decided to go over it with thicker pen, and now I hate it. So there's that. This page is a lot better. I did end up adding a little bit of colour, but I kept it very light. And now she looks like Frankenfurter. So, again, wish I hadn't done that, but it is what it is. I wanted to add colour to it, and I have to stop adding colour to things. I like colour. I need to have colour somewhere. I've worked out that when I do colour, I need to make it intentional. And for some reason, colour works a lot better for me in this book, which is the typical Moleskine sketchbook. But somehow, everything in colour I do in here I really like, and everything I do in black and white I don't like. This I absolutely love, how weird it looks with all the different colours. You know? This was actually old sketches from... something to do with drawing tea sets. And I just inked it in and coloured it in because it looked weird just done in pencil next to this. But these are fun. I like these. This was the Danny Gregory exercise of drawing a cabinet. Just drawing the negative space of a cabinet and then drawing the individual items and then drawing some details. I went full hog on it. I don't care. But it was still quite fun. Weird spooky house I'm drawing. So yeah, I like colour in this one, but then as soon as I go elsewhere I keep trying to add watercolour and then all hell breaks loose and I don't like anything. I don't know if that's just a phase. Maybe it is. I don't know. Hey Mika, you watched 15 minutes at double speed. That's the way to do it. I kind of stalled on this one because everything got too monumental. Suddenly I felt the need to document everything that's going on and then realised that that was not going to happen. And then obviously because I hadn't done that, then I couldn't do the next thing. So blah, blah. And I stopped a week ago. So maybe it's time to jump back into this one and do something, because at the end of the day, I don't care if it's out of order, so why am I worrying about it? I can do stuff anytime as long as I just put a date on it. You always have a fear when you have a pencil sketch that you'll use fine liners or a ballpoint pen gets messed up when you add the colour. That's why you have a little pocket sketchbook where there's no colour. Yeah, I don't have a problem with pencil sketches. I would, in fact, rather just go in with pen. I'm perfectly happy just going in with pen. As you can see, I don't bother with... I mean, for something like this, I did do a pencil sketch because you can't get likeness without a pencil sketch. But then I turned her into a raccoon, so... In my defence, it was not daylight when I painted it. Maybe I can lighten it up. Just erase the eyes a little bit. That'll make it look... Should we try it? See if we erase the eyes a bit. Maddie! Maddie, just because everyone else is barking doesn't mean you have to. Oh, that's better. Now she just looks like she's wearing glasses. Which, I think she wore glasses, didn't she? So, sometimes. Hey, Phoenix. Yeah. It's been a weird week. It really has been a weird week. What do I want to do, guys? Oh! I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's okay. That's why we record them, so that you can join them later. I know what I'm going to do. I have a list. Actually, it'd be easier to get it on my other, because that's charging. Let's get it on here. I have a list because Bun there, you've probably seen she's doing the Occupied Oracle, which is like spooky houses for October. As an urban sketcher and a spooky house freak and into abandoned buildings and horror movies, of course I want to do spooky houses. So, since Bun's doing her own project and didn't put out a list or anything, it's not like a proper inking houses. That's appropriate because that's what we're talking about. I actually did a list. Is it on here? Oh, I'll have to go on Discord and get it. Oh, haven't closed down FaceTime things. No, okay, belay that. We're going to have to do it on the phone because it's not even on there. I don't know. Some things transfer automatically and other things don't. Oh, I've got 45%. We'll be all right now. Okay. Brain. Focus. I made a list myself of horror movie houses. Now, I based it on a list by this person. So, Stephanie.artdesign does a list called Sad Inktober 22. And it's a list of spooky films. So... it looks like this. Okay. I'll put her links down below and everything afterwards. But she had this list of spooky films, and I liked the films, a lot of them, but some of them, like Alien, can you really do a spooky house out of that? I mean, you could draw the spaceship, but that's totally not my thing. So probably not. Black Lagoon. Can't really think of a house in Black Lagoon that would be, yeah, that would fit. So I took out ones that I didn't like and I replaced them with ones that I do. So our list is now this. And I've tried to make it very varied. So it's not an identical copy of what Bun's doing, where she's literally doing haunted houses. This is more varied. So like we've got Basic houses, like we've got the Addams family house, the mansion, the party house from Scream, Beetlejuice's house, but I swapped it for The Shining, for the Overlook Hotel. Coraline, the Pink Palace, Hocus Pocus, the Witch's Cottage, Poltergeist, obviously, the Freeling house, and then Edward Scissorhands, instead of the castle, Tinsmith Circle, with all those little suburban pastel-coloured houses. Lily and James' house in Godric Hollow from the Harry Potter series, Dracula Carfax Abbey, so a abandoned abbey, Nancy's trailer from The Craft, that was Bun's idea, I stole it, 112 Ocean Avenue from Amityville, obviously, Friday the 13th, instead of the camp or whatever, I chose the diner, because I thought it would be different, you know. Crimson Peak Mansion, the Practical Magic House, the Ghostbusters Firehouse, the Blair Witch Project, the Black Hills Hut, which is really creepy, and you get to draw all those little pentacle twig things. The Frankenstein Palace from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Birds Schoolhouse, because hello, it's a classic. It's a classic, okay. But then I threw in Scooby-Doo, the Spooky Island Resort, which is actually a real place. It's not a real place, it's a fictional place based on a real place, the Tangalooma Resort in, I think, New Zealand. The Corpse Bride, the church, Psycho Bates House, the Ring, the Mosco or Mosco, not sure how to pronounce it, Island Lighthouse. So we've got Lighthouse in there, a bit different. The Bates High School from Carrie, Fear Street, the Shadyside Mall, 1428 Elm Street, obviously, the Van Tassel House from Sleepy Hollow, Max's house from The Lost Boys, the Plantation House from Interview with the Vampire, which I appreciate is probably not politically correct somewhere, but it's called a plantation house. I mean, you know, I could have called it a mansion, but it's a plantation house. The Dark Disney option that she put in, I went for the Haunted Mansion, of course, because who doesn't want to draw the Haunted Mansion? Hello. And Happy Halloween is the last one, where you pick your own, Jack Skellington's castle. So lots of variety, everything from a lighthouse to a hotel to a witch's cottage to spooky mansions and haunted houses to stuff that's based on real places and stuff that's completely made up. Like Tinsmith Circle from Edward Scissorhands is based on a place called Lutz. You can actually go and look at the houses and on Google Maps and find a street to draw. So that would be really fun, I thought. And then there's other things like the Pink Palace is very much a cartoony type place, obviously. There's other things. Lily and James's house is based on a real thing. Carfax Abbey is based on Whitby Abbey. But then The Craft, Nancy's trailer, you only see a very quick shot of that. Oh, what do they call them? Bullet trailers, is it? Where it's a big silver thing. So you only see one quick outside shot of it. So you can pretty much make it up yourself. It's pretty much close to the list you've put together. Well, that doesn't surprise me because we've got very similar taste in movies. There was no way I was not going to put The Birds in there. The Birds Schoolhouse, it's a classic. I nearly swapped out the... And I still might, actually. I still might, because there are a lot of spooky mansion type things. I still might swap out one of the mansions, probably the Rocky Horror Picture Show one, for Rosemary's Baby apartment complex. That, you know, the outside of the apartments, because that's a real place as well. So is Frankenstein Palace, but it's a real place that you can actually look at in New York. You have the one from The Fog. I nearly went for that one, and then I thought, well, I'm going more for TV movies than TV series, and I couldn't remember if The Fog had actually been made into a movie or just a series. So I ended up going with the Ring one. I very much tried to keep it to movies, but Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going to do Rosemary's Baby or not, because I remember you saying you weren't sure whether to do an interior or an exterior, with it being in a flat. But I really like that building, so... And it's the only block of flats, it's the only apartment one that I could think of. So, I may well swap that in. The Fog is a movie by John Carpenter. How have I missed that? How the hell have I missed that? What? I need to find this. I did not know this. I did not know this. Yeah, I think the closest I went to like a TV kind of thing was the Fear Street thing. But I really wanted to put Shadyside Mall in because it's really fun building. It's I like all the neon lights and stuff on it. I mean, I could have gone for the one from not House on Haunted Hill, not Hill House, no. Evil Dead, something like that. There's a really famous mall one. Oh, I did not know this. I need to watch this immediately. I need to watch it immediately. I will be watching it later tonight. As soon as I can find it, I will be watching it. I did not know. The TV series is actually really good. But I did not know this was a film. How did I not know this was a film? Anyway, this list is available on my Discord. So if you're a member of my Discord, you can get this in the art challenges. If you're not on mine, but you are on Bun's, I also posted it in her clubhouse. So if you're one of her higher tier supporters for the Sketchbook Club, I did post it in there because a lot of people were asking her for her list. And I don't think she wanted to share. But I wanted to play along, so I made a list. The House from Flowers in the Attic. That is a really nice house. That is a really nice house. Yeah. I don't like that film, though. I read the book when I was, like, 12. I don't know why it was in our school library, but it was. And I'm like, why is this in the school library? I don't understand. But I read Carrie very early on as well. Anyway, that's my... It's got Jamie Lee... Now I'm completely confused how I've not seen it. It's a John Carpenter film based on a Stephen King book starring Jamie Lee Curtis. How have I not seen this? What the hell? I don't know. I don't know. This needs to be rectified. I have Michael's House from Halloween. We've got I haven't got anything from Halloween in here. It was the 31st, Happy Halloween. I was going to do Michael's House for that because obviously the 31st, Halloween, duh. But then I realised I didn't have anything from The Nightmare Before Christmas on here, and that's my Halloween movie. So I put Jack Skellington in. Sorry. Tough. Of course it's a 1980s movie. It's a 1980s peak horror movie genre by John Carpenter with JLC. I mean, I should be watching... How have I not watched it? Maybe I have watched it and I just don't remember. I'm going to swap lighthouses after I see it. Maybe. I like the lighthouse from The Ring, though. I think it looks really weird out on that promontory. And don't forget, I'm not concentrating necessarily on the houses like you are. I'm concentrating on the urban sketching vibe. I plan to do more of an urban sketching vibe. I don't really know if I said that, but that's what I plan to do. I'm not just drawing the house. I'm planning to do more of an urban sketching vibe to it. So, because that's what I want to practice. Hi, baby. Miss Maddie. Miss Maddie's been sitting outside and she's cold. What do I want to do, guys? We're an hour in. And I haven't... Well, 45 minutes in. We started late. What do I want to draw? What do I want to draw? Let me go and get my other book. I think that's what I want to do, is get my other book. Hi, baby. Give me 1 second. Excuse my fat backside being on the screen. Oh, there's my book. I've got it. It's over here. I've got it. Hi, Matt. Hi, Mad. Oh! Oh! Here we go. Oh! Oh, my knees. We've got the Psycho house on there, Jane. Psycho house is on there. The Bates house from Psycho. See, I had a lot of fun doing this colouring last week. But then I get so meticulous when I start doing other stuff. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I did think maybe I would start doing some of my houses. Let's see, how many? 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. We've got more than enough pages in here to play with. Do I want to do some of my houses? Do I want to start sketching up houses? I might. The Bates house is a good one to start with, actually, because I'm not necessarily going to do it in order, because that's the motel. Is that from the TV series one, I think? You have to be really specific about what you're looking for. Sometimes you have to give them a date for which movie you want. That is the one. Okay. So I want an urban sketching vibe. So what I want is a still from the movie, really. That would be a fun one with the car outside. Look at that. Movielocations.com. That sounds like a good place to have bookmarked. I'm gonna bookmark that one because I think I'll use that quite a lot. So that's the Jefferson. Oh, it's got all the different ones for the film. Ooh. This might be handy because you get lots of different ones. But I do like that as a option. It's a terrible quality picture, obviously, but if you're drawing it from an urban sketching point of view, that would work. Just make it full size. And there we go. For the ones that have got addresses and still standing, you can go and look at them on Google Maps. Actually, literally go to Google Maps and look at them on Street View. This is really challenging, actually, to do as an urban sketch because of the elevation of the house. It's essentially just 3 layers. It's the house layer, the landscaping layer, and then the car and the garage. You could put the car and the garage together. But the elevation makes the depth of field really tricky. And the angle of the house, obviously, because it's a photograph. But it does look like it would be fun to have a go at. I'm going to get rid of all this extra dross around the outside. I find that very distracting. And let's get rid of that writing as well, because that's also distracting. And now I have... Yeah. I was looking at this one and the poltergeist house. That poltergeist house, I swear it was made in bits. It doesn't look like a house that was built normally. It looks like a house that was built and then they added an extension and they added another extension. And at some point, somebody didn't use a level because it's like this. This looks like a challenge. And I'm up for a challenge. Let's have a challenge. Let's have a challenge. Let's do the Bates house. Why not? So I'll put that there actually. No. Because then it'll... Where can I put this? Hey Meg! Where can I put this? Oh, well you can look it up. If you want the picture, you can look it up. It's the Bates house from the movie. You've abandoned the Psycho house. Well, the Psycho house, I mean, the house itself, it's one of those weird old Victorians with oddly shaped roof. That's the problem with it. But as an urban sketching thing, it might actually be a bit easier. It's a very long and thin composition, though. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit worried about the whole car thing. What I have found is that if I'm drawing something this size... from this kind of reference. I mean, it looks like you'd simply take from one side to the other, right? But I find that doesn't work very well for me. You need the weird angle, yeah. You definitely do. And it's hard to capture a weird angle that's at an even weirder angle because it's a photograph. Because a photograph is a completely different angle to what you'd see if you were stood there. It does make it very confusing. But I actually find it's easier to work from this sort of size. I don't know why that is. It just... That just seems to be how it works for me. So, unusually, I'm going to give myself a border. Because... and what shall I draw with? Let's draw with... I'm going to draw with my brown pencil because I think you'll be able to see that. Maddie, what are you doing? You can see that, yeah. This is erasable Faber-Castell pencil. I'm only going to take a little bit off the bottom. And this isn't a hard and fast, like I'm doing a border thing. This is just to... So I think I'm drawing smaller than I actually am. It's weird, I know, but... Okay, so the view itself is 1.5 high to wide. So I know how high my thing is. It's going to be 22. So how do we get 1.5 of that? Mika, help me do maths. How do we get to 22 from 1.5? Do we divide 22 by 1.5, literally? I mean, I reckon about 8 centimetres. But that could just be me making it up. If we do divide 22 by 1.5, what do we get? 14. Does that sound about right, ratio? I don't know. Maths is not my strong point. That's where I got the 8 from, because I was like, about divide by 3, it'd be 7, then a little bit, so about 8. You know what? I can figure it out on here. If I adjust this to that. No, that doesn't work. That was me trying to be clever. I was trying to halve it to do it. Just 14. Okay. Yeah, well, it's only approximation. I just want to get the kind of ratio down. Let's see. 14 is about there. So let's do... Let's do that bit there. And then 14-ish. It's going to be about the same on the other side. It just gives me a better ratio for the page, is all. And it gives me some leeway if I somehow manage to not have enough space. Because I do that. So, eye line is literally top of the steps. Top of the roof. I don't like that tangent, but we'll play with that in a minute. Middle of the top is that corner of the house. Middle of the bottom is where the wing mirror is. This is about that much. So the wing mirror, and then the middle, it's actually not a middle, it's kind of a quarter there, and then kind of a diagonal quarter here. So this is where the garage roof is going to be. This is where the car is going to be. This is where the trees overhang onto the steps, which come in this direction. And then the middle of the house is here. And then we've got the trees come up almost to cover the house, but not quite. So, and they come up from just behind here. So let's take off that bit for those trees. The actual house, if that's the centre part, the actual house is, I'm just eyeballing it, like 2/3 of the way across to the garage. So this is going to be the edge of the house. The point of the house actually comes about here. And then the back of the house is about sort of here-ish. And those trees... Okay, so the top of the trees, not worried about how high the trees are. The house ratio, I'm drawing this like I would draw an urban sketch, by the way. I'm not trying to draw the exact thing. I'm just eyeballing where everything's going to fit on the page. It's about as wide as it is high. So if I take that measurement there, that's about how high the house is going to be. At the top, oh, something in my eye. And then that part of the house is about the same as the front. So there's the front of the house. So that part's going to go about there. And then this tree comes up just a little bit higher, but not as high as the front. So that's how I map out an urban sketch on location. Let me just... sorry, I didn't realise you were all up in the air there. So I've literally got blocks of where things are going to be. And then I just start roughing in. So the car is going to be kind of here. The garage is... There's a lot of tangents in this photo. It was a really badly staged photo. I'm going to move the tangents. So that's the garage there. The top of the house. The angle of the house follows the angle of the tree. Edge of the house about here. Back of the house to about there-ish. Coming across. Goes back down to there. This is where the house comes down, but it's behind a tree, which is all of this and some of that. This tree can be put in afterwards, but there are trunks here coming up behind this, and there is one at an angle. the steps. So the steps, the top of the steps is in line with the corner of the house, which you'd expect. And it kind of comes down at a 45-degree angle and then at a much steeper angle. And then there's a sideways part that comes back directly under this. And then that bit goes back down at a 45-degree angle. And then just behind the car, there's kind of a flat bit. And then since the steps are going to be the same width all the way down, we can literally, well, they're going to get slightly bigger towards the bottom, but we can literally just eyeball it in like that. This is flat, so that would be more closely up there. This is more flat. Close enough. So the house. Let's see. The house itself. See, the outline of the house is easy. The actual house, it's at a weird angle, and it's got weird angles, and it is weird. Let's just start at the top and work down, maybe. Maybe that's the way to do it. Oh, hang on. Breaking points. So the roof of this part, there's a bit here that I've missed. So there's a bit that you can just about see poking out there on this corner. And the roof of this part, no. Oh, this is tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay. Overall height of the back of the house is, the roof is about a quarter of the height. So if this is the full height, halfway, a quarter, so that's going to be about the depth of the roof. Kind of there. And then this garret comes up a little bit higher and across. And then that's the full height, so that's going to go up to that height. And then there's a small slant here. And then this comes down. That'll come across there. That'll come down like that. And then about halfway across here is where that thing comes out at on the end. Kind of like that, with a skirt like that. It's close enough. Put some porches in. Put the corner in. Put the corner in. Put that corner. That roof is coming out too far. That's better. But that looks okay. Overall, that's not too bad, I think. Do I want to do colour, or shall I just stick with pen? I kind of do want to do colour. Why do I want to do colour when I keep saying I don't want to do colour, but then I want to do colour? Somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain it. You know what I think I'll do is compromise. A little bit. Too dark. Too dark. too yellow. No. Okay. Yeah, because colour feels finished. Even when it's only like this, where I literally just throw some colour on it. Colour feels finished. Exactly. Pen. Let's do pen. Let's do pen, shall we, Scooby-Doo? Should we do pen? Scooby-Doo says pen. I'm going to use one of my really nice, thin, scribbly pens. I do have a replacement for this. I found one that somebody recommended, which is the Uniball Needle Eye, or Uniball Eye Needle. But I really like this for drawing. It's nice and thin, so I think I'm going to use this one today. So, a lot of urban sketchers, when they're working on something specific, actually I haven't finished. I did the house and then I got all excited. A lot of urban sketchers, when they're doing a scene like this, would start with the house, because the house is the most important thing, right? But I don't tend to do that. I tend to start at the front and work backwards, because you can always move things around. Hello, Miss Maddie. Got this weird, very 70s looking car. I love this car. It's not even 70s looking, it's more 60s actually. What is it? Is it a Zephyr or something? I don't even know. Maddie! Maddie, what are you doing? You been cheeky? You been cheeky? You want to help? You can't help. You can't help, my love. You can't help. Come on, get down. Belly rubs for Maddie. Again. Because she hasn't had a belly rub in about, 30 minutes at least. Cheeky girl. She's not happy because my alarm went off while she was talking to her grandpa. So therefore, she didn't get to finish her conversation with her grandpa. That's what's up with her. She was in the middle of telling him all about everything that he needed to know, and Mum stopped play and she's not happy. Okay. See, I like the idea of the car coming out the end there, but I don't have the edge of the car. I wonder what the back of that car looks like. I'll have to find another movie reference, and I mean, it's almost certainly kind of something like that. It just looks like a Batmobile, doesn't it? I mean, it's got a very strong linear Batmobile type thing going on here. It's got a rounded windows, rounded roof, triangular bit. The mirror is right underneath the house there. Got posts and windows and angles like that. That doesn't come up as high as the the back of the window doesn't come up as high as the side windows, and the front window comes up higher. I wonder if is it convertible? No, can't be a convertible. It's got a fixed windscreen, a fixed back window. There's that. Put some tyre things in. This tyre is at a mad angle. This tyre is, you can see the edge of it there. This shouldn't be down so low on the ground. This is all going to be dark. There we go. Grandpa, yeah. Nana and Grandpa. She loves talking to her Nana and Grandpa. This is it's a must. I've run out of coffee right now, which is why we're chugging tango. Okay, so let's get this road on the show. So the front headlights here are actually quite angular. This whole car is very, very angular. So I'm going to make the most of that. And something I've learned, I've talked to my patrons about this actually, but the more I draw in pen, the more I learn that I don't like clean lines. You know, everybody says you shouldn't use chicken scratch lines because it makes your drawing look hesitant. I think it makes the drawing look more interesting. So I do chicken scratch lines. Well, not chicken scratch as in, like, some people do lines like that. I don't do that kind of lines, but I do like to draw a line like that. I just think it makes it more, it feels more dynamic to me. I don't know why. Anyway, so we've got the corner of the bumper, and then we've got it, the chrome ends there. This is dark. But then there's another bit of white bumper. And then it goes up into the wheel arch. And lots of rims and things all over the place. Got a rounded arch and then an angle. That comes down to the door, and then that goes up into a rounded part and comes back down here. I'm guessing at the shape of the back of the car, but given that the front of the car looks like a Batmobile, I'm assuming the back of the car looks like a Batmobile. So it's probably got something like that going on. I don't really care enough about the car to worry about whether I get the model correct. So there's the back wheel, then we've got that wheel there. Got this wheel at a weird angle. And then this wheel over here. All of that is going to be dark. I can probably do that with like a dark wash of grey or something like that, or black pencil. And we've got there's the windscreen wiper. Interesting bit of beading on the top of the windscreen. I don't know exactly what the mirror looks like, so I'm just going to approximate it in. Just kind of seems to have a blob. Another piece of white there. This is very squared off here. And that's got a rounded corner there. But then there's a whole other section of beading along the top there. And then the roof of the car kind of comes up in the middle a little bit. So the top bit of the roof that you're seeing is more the middle of the roof because it's raised rather than the back side of the roof. And then this all comes down in one piece, comes down in a round bit there, comes all the way down here. You don't actually see another bit there. There's the glass. So angular, that would be coming up from about there on that side. Slightly rounded. And on the back side of the car, you can't really see a lot on the back side of the car, but you can see the interior part here. You can see the dark section of the back side of the car there. You can see the angle of the back post there. And then there's some kind of big bulky thing there. You can't really see what's going on with the windshield, so I'm gonna do kind of a light sheen type effect. Okay. This looks weird here, but there's no shape to that bit. Like, you can't, because it's a white car, you can't really see where the corner piece is. Let's put in a corner piece so it doesn't look quite so weird. I mean, it does look weird. It's just, it doesn't fit properly. I also think I didn't bring it out far enough, so let's fix that. That's better. Okay. So then we've got the garage. I can never decide how to say that word. We've got the big red bar coming across here. We've got the smaller red bar coming across here. That's eliminated that tangent nicely. We've got the big doorway. I've got a pillar, doorway, frame, big red something or other. Okay, so let's, oops, coloured in that pole. I didn't really mean to do that, so, but let's do the whole thing now. We've started, we might as well finish. There's something going on up here, but I don't know what it is. And then we've got the roof. Okay. This is dark. This is dark. I may use a grey. Maybe if I just use a grey. Just shading rather than colouring. See? Shading, not colouring. Yeah, that could work. Let's do that. So this is all going to be dark in here. These wheels are dark. This interior is dark. And then all of this is going to be dark. There we go, I like that. Okay, that could work. Next, we have... Do I want to be bothered drawing those chairs? Are they essential? Nah, I don't think so. I'm just going to ignore the chairs. I can't be bothered. Chairs can always be moved, right? So let's draw... There's some step kind of things here. And then there's just bushes. So we've got bushes here. Coming all the way across to about here. Going up over that bit of wall there. And then smaller bushes on this side with some smaller ones in front. That'll do. It's close enough. That's enough for us to be able to draw in the wall. And then we've got this tree coming out here. Bits of tree coming across here. Bit of tree coming out there. Bit of tree there. Got some more there. Some more there. Some more there. So just very rough. Can deal with the tree bits later. Just want the outline for now. Then we can put in the wall. See, this is why I start at the front and work backwards, because it's kind of like layering. Once you put in the... You can't put in the steps and then draw the things over the top unless you're going to colour it. So I outline the bushes and then I draw the steps behind the bushes. Again, the steps don't have to be perfect. We can see their steps. Yes, it's an iconic house. The house needs to be recognisable at least. But as long as the steps are roughly in the right place, nobody is going to know for certain, except someone who's actually spent a lot of time staring at the house. Nobody's going to know. Bun might pick up on something is being a little bit off. But for the most part, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to care. As long as there's steps coming down kind of like that, that'll do. I've got another big corner piece there. We've got a bit that sticks out there. We've got the rail thing you can see quite easily there. And then there's kind of a... it's kind of like a pot type of thing. I don't know if it's a pot or a thing on a lintel, but there's definitely something. And then that goes up towards there. There's nothing at the top, and you can't see that bit really anyway because there is a bush kind of partially covering it. There's a big tree kind of in here somewhere, and then the rest is just whatever. You can see the dark corner there of the house, the kind of like the porch of the house. And then we've got the top step coming across. We've got the railing bit which we'll see through the tree because we're not going to completely fill in. We've got another bit, we've got a bit more tree coming out there, and then we've got another bit coming down there, getting slightly wider. And do that there, and then we've got a flat piece, and then there's kind of a gap there because it's a flat piece, and then we've just got stairs and stairs. Nobody will ask, nobody will count the steps. These are steps, these look like steps, these look like steps, nobody's going to care. That's what I've learned from, what is it, nearly 8 years now of urban sketching. Nobody cares. I'm going to draw that corner there. Even though it's out of place, it just looks more balanced with the roof. It's called artistic license. Again, it's the garage. No one's going to care. Okay. That interior of the car is going to have to be dark eventually, but I'm not going to worry about it for right now. I am going to do the windows that are up. And there is, oh, actually, there's a, see, the more you look at these things, the more you see. There is actually a little bit of window there that's up. Maddie! Hi! What are you crying for? Why are we crying? Why are we crying? We can go out if we want to. Oh. Okay. Just darken up these lines a little bit because these are actually, because they're in front, I need them to look heavier. And also with the top of the car, I need it to look... Has my pen stopped working? I need the top of the car to be heavier so that it stands out in front of the garage. Like that. There we go. See the layering coming in. Alrighty. So we've got trees happening up here with uneven trunks and spindly bits and just generally kind of weird. We got one that's split in the middle. We've got various bits of leaves happening. Could actually do those a little bit darker. Maddie, stop! No, stop! You're being naughty. Come on. Go and sit down. No, go and sit. Maddie, go and sit down. You're being naughty. Please don't be naughty. You've been a good girl all day. Please don't be naughty now. You want to come up and sit with Mummy? Always wanting to sit next to your mum. There. Sit there then. Sit down then. If you can sit there, sit down. Don't you dare put your paws on the table. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're not climbing on my table. You can sit next to me, but you're not climbing on my table. Don't keep doing that, please. Ugh, never work with children or animals. Okay. I'm going to start the house with this part. This porch feels like it's very prominent to the house. Gonna put some darkness under that there. And then there is, okay, there's one weight bearing there. There's a weight bearing in the middle, and there's two fancy ones. One is attached to the house here, and one is on this corner here. There we go. And then we've got another one here. Under that roof is another one that's kind of, it's weight bearing, but it's also got this kind of intricate something or something going on across there. Same on this side. We've got one on the end. We've got one further back that is the diagonal one for that one, going back there. Then we've got the corner of the house, and then we've got another one. Where's the corner of the house gone? I've misjudged where the corner of the house is. The corner of the house is actually going to be a bit further out, like that. That post is going to be there, and then there's another bit of this fancy stuff in there, and then there's another bit of fancy stuff in there that's covering up that corner, and I think there's a bit of fancy stuff in here, but I can't really tell, but it looks like there should be fancy stuff in there, so I'm gonna do it. And then there's a corner here. And then we've got a railing that goes all the way around. That is just a little bit above where the steps are. That'll do. And then this actually has another piece that goes back to the corner there. So I'm just going to double over that so it looks like it's kind of overlapping. Hey, Katie. Took an unexpected nap. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. I'm not going to do with all the finicky bits on the house just yet. I want to get the structure in first. This is partly covered up by tree, which is good because that angle is weird. Maddie! This is a deep section here. And a corner. And then this wall is a weird shape. It's kind of like it's bowed out. Maddie! Stop! Come on, you're being naughty. Let's not be naughty. That's a good girl. Okay, now this bit actually comes up. Let's get this corner in first. So there's a big white corner there with that big black railing thing across the top. But then it comes in and down like that on both sides. That angle should be a little bit higher up. And then it looks like there's railings at the top of the house, like a thing like that. I'm sure there's a railing there. Okay, and then this part actually overlaps and comes down there. And that bit just goes up a little bit more than I've got it, and then down a little bit more this side. And then there's a dark section again where it sticks out, and then we've got the white section coming down like that. We've got a dark section under there as well. There we go. Oh, a little bit more angled there. What we don't like we can cover up with tree. And then this part has a piece of band that goes across. And there's a corner there. How have I ended up with a bush there? I think that corner should have been a bit further over. I think that corner should have been there. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we'll cover it up with tree. So then we got an arch window here. Arched window down here, which is going to be partly covered up by tree. Can't really see what's going on under the porch, so I'm actually going to just shade the porch in, and it gets even darker under there, so yeah, it kind of makes it spooky and mysterious at the same time. Hi, Boo. So you got these interesting windows at the front that look like one of those vanity mirrors. It's in 3 pieces. And there's bits on that side. There's 2 bits on this side because of the angle. 2 bits this side. These go all the way down, but then there's some more of that. I don't know if it's railing or not, but then there's also these little kind of finial type things on the end. So let's just make them like that, and then put that there like that, and then just draw it across like that, and it kind of looks like it's supposed to look like that. And then just go back over this bit because it goes back around the other side. There we go. That works. Okay, now we've got a big oval window at the top. Is about that sort of shape. It's got a big sticky out bit at the top, like an eyebrow. And then it's got a flatter frame at the bottom, so that'll do. Going up under there, so that's sticking out, and then there's that window, and then that's sticking out there, that's sticking out there. There we go. This is hard. Okay, I don't really know what's going on in this corner, so I'm just going to cover it with leaves. Look, oh, look at all these leaves. And I don't know what's happening with that window either, so I'm just going to cover it with leaves. There's a tree there. We can cover anything we want with leaves. I'm not sure what's going on here, so we'll cover it with leaves. There we go. And it happens to be one of those really big, weird plant, well, weird trees that's got like sections, like clumps, like that. And then there's another clump up here with a bit of tree coming down like that. And then all of this can just be whatever we want. This can be drawn at leisure. We can fiddle about with that later. And then there's kind of, off in the distance here, there's kind of bushy tree things. It's almost like a forest, actually. Again, we can add a bit of shading to that in the background. And then we've got this tree here, which is slightly different shapes. So what I'm going to do is just do slightly different leaf shapes in it, you know, kind of like that. It's got bits sticking out here. You can see a bit more detail in it because it's closer to us. And then all of this is just green. I might have to add colour to this to show where the green is, but I will just do it like this. I won't do full hog everything happening at once. I don't really know what's going on with this back corner, so I'm going to cover that with tree. There is a tree there, in my defence, but a bit of blue sky poking through there. Bit of tree. That'll do. And then this is a tree here, which has got kind of a interesting shape to it. It is actually kind of almost like a lollipop tree. And then we've got schwabbly little bits and pieces in different colours, and then we've got lots of grass. So we'll just put a few bits of grassy knoll. There we go. That'll do it. So now we compare and contrast. Have we got it close? It's close. We've missed out a couple of bars on the windows. I thought those bars looked funny. Horizontal bars on the windows. And there's a window down here that I've put a bit too low with a bar there. There's a bit of interesting bit of wall shading in here. These steps have some interesting shading coming across this way, so I'll do that. Okay, I do think this interior bits here, these interior bits need to be dark. They're not reading as interior because they're too light. There you go, that's better. See, now it looks like it's interior. The tyres need to be dark. I'm just going to cross shade them. I'm not going to bother colouring them in properly. I like that style that they do in comic books where they just use like straight line shading on areas. I really like the way that looks. Okay, and speaking of which, we could do that in here. So let's try an experiment. I saw this done by somebody, I don't know who it was. It was a passing glimpse of something on Instagram, and I clicked off it, and then I tried to go back and it wasn't there anymore. So, but what she'd done was kind of broken lines to shade in an area. And she alternated between kind of dot dot dash and long lines with broken bits and then dashes like that, and it looked really effective. Obviously, she spent more time doing hers because I'm not even close to straight or anything like that. But it did kind of look quite effective. It doesn't look as effective on mine. It looks more like a door rather than a dark space. So I think maybe I will... It's a good... Mine looks like wood grain. Hers didn't. So I'm just going to do the single crosshatch thing across here like that to get that dark area. There we go. That's better. What else are we missing? Lots of dark in these trees. So there's a big area of dark in these trees here that I haven't put in. And there's a big area of dark. Actually, this whole tree is quite dark here. This area up here is quite dark. It's got dark patches, but then this area is really quite dark. I think it's more about visual cues than anything else. Sorry about the light. I'm trying to stop it. Oh, actually, I remember what I did last time. I did that and then I twisted it at an angle. Put it at an angle so you could see what I was doing. There we go. That works. This tree is also quite dark, but I'm too lazy to fill that in right now. This area under here is much darker than I've done it. So I'm going to go over this again. Which will have the advantage of making those white porch things stand out a little bit more. But then it's a lot darker in here, so there we go. This window has a light bit across it, but then this bit is completely dark. These have kind of shadows across them because they're catching the light. The wood on that one is dark, not light, but the window itself is light. I think we can pretty much ignore the rest of them. We do have this railing. There's a railing here as well. So I'm just going to put that in like I did with the others. Just kind of... When in doubt, add a kind of a finial thingy to the top of the corners and it'll make it look like a railing. That's my professional thing. Okay, just add like a funky thing to the corners and it'll look like a railing. I don't know how it works, it just does. Okay, don't ask me. Okay, I like it a lot, but I would like to add some colour. Why do I want to add colour? Do I want to add colour or do I want to just... No, I do. I want to add this kind of colour. I just want to throw some colour on and not overwork it. Let's see if we can throw some colour on and not overwork it. And then not go back in and try to add 4 billion layers or anything else. Where's my watercolours? There they are. Nope, that's not them. I moved the tin. There they are. There they are. I found them. So this is what we're going to do. We're just gonna use the... Whoops. Oh, I think this stuck. Nah, get off. There we go. There's my colours. I'm just going to use approximation colours, quick splashes of stuff. I'm going to use a nice big brush. I bought myself some new brushes, look. The only water brushes that I've ever got on with are the Kuretake ones, but all of mine were mouldy. Like, somehow mould had ended up in the barrels. I mean, they are 15 years old or so, but I bought the 4 set with the big wide brush. It's not the mop brush that you can take apart. I thought it was, but it is a flat brush, so that's going to be useful, I think. I want to keep nice and loose, so I'm going to use the big brush. Let's throw some water on the watercolours. There's my sprayer. The trouble with colours is I use watercolours, and watercolours never look bright enough to me on the first layer. So then I end up putting another layer on, and then another layer, and then another layer, and then I get fed up with it and I throw on gouache, and then I have to put more pen work on. So what? Maddie, get down. Get down! Down, down, down. You can't be climbing on that. No, 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 no. You don't be naughty, okay? Good girl. Yeah, let's not go hell for leather with every single colour of the rainbow and 40 layers and then gouache. Let's just throw on some colour. Literally just throw on some colour. So, I want some yellow. I'm going to throw some yellow in here. This area has quite some yellow bushes in it, which is quite bright compared to the rest. There's also a few down here. And then this bit of leaf has some yellow. And there's actually a patch of yellow on the roof, which is weird. I don't know what that's about. And then this is kind of yellowy. Throw some of that in there. And there's a yellow bit on something there. Number plate, I'm assuming. Okay, the colour for the house. This looks pretty much exactly the right colour, but it's opaque because it's yellow ochre. I'm going to water it down a lot and mix it with a little bit of that yellow so it spreads a bit better. There we go. That's a bit better. So the whole house is going to be this colour. Oh, that's the same colour. Okay. Maybe we'll use a bit more yellow ochre. There we go. Whole house, this colour. Might have to put some white back in later, but that's okay. Whole house. Throw it on. This is all the same colour, even though it's in dark. There we go. That'll do. The roof. So the roof is just a shade darker. I think I'm going to use that Quin Gold that I like for the roof, but put it on just a little bit thicker so that it looks a little bit, whoops, painted outside the lines. Never mind. Do we care? We do a little bit. Let's clean our brush, pick up some of this colour here, put it across there. There we go. Now, these bits are actually white, these stone steps, and then the bit in the middle is grey. But I don't like using grey, so I'm going to use the Moon Glow colour, because that just kind of works better than a grey for me. So I'm just going to put that down across the steps there, where they're a different colour, and also the pavement here. Yeah, we've got the, what colour is that? Garage. Oh, I've got that. Look, I've got that metallic. I can't remember what this is called. Moon dust or something. It's a Daniel Smith one. That will look good on that galvanised tin roof there. There we go. And it kind of separates into kind of a silvery, oh, that's better, silvery, pinky, granulating oddness. That's the only way I can describe it. Okay, we want an orangey colour. Let's make it a little bit more orange on this bit here, and the door frame, and whatever this thing is. And there's something on the back of the car as well, but I don't know what it is. Blood, maybe? I don't know. The car is white, but we'll add just a tiny bit of nondescript grey, just to show that it's a white car. I mean, it's weird, I know, but it kind of works. The wheels are actually kind of a yellowy colour. We could use a bit of that there, like that. And then we've got bright green there, bright green there, mid green there, dark greeny brown, and dark greeny brown. So this is dark greeny brown. It's a mid green. Let's use the light green here. Just for, I'm going to mix it with a bit of that yellow, just to tone it down a tiny bit. And we'll throw that on the grass over here, and on these bushes down here, because they're really quite bright down here. Don't overwork it. Do not add more colour than you need. Let's add a bit of this darker green to that light green, so that that tree stands out a little bit better on that side, and add a little dark green to the underside of it there. And then let's do the same over here, but a shade darker. So there's the colour of the green, and then we'll add a little bit more dark green to do the underside and put some dappled bits in. Let's use that for that shaded area. That's not dark enough. There we go, that's better. So all of these shaded areas can be this colour. Some brighter green there on the top bits, and let's add some bits in here as well. I feel like that could have some darker green on it as well, actually. There's not much darker green on that tree. There we go, that's better. We need the greeny brown, so let's add some greeny brown, but I don't have a neutral brown. Why don't I have a new? Oh, I do. There we go. There it is. That one. So let's put that separate into that lighter green to give me that kind of weird browny green colour. There we go, that's what I wanted. And I'm literally just going to plop it in to kind of make it look like tree bits. Here we go. Let's put some more in that bit. And we can do the same on this side, so let's add a bit more to the green. Make it a bit darker on this side, because these trees are actually quite dark. A little bit more brown. bit of the darker green. Put that on this one so that we can cover up that corner where I put yellow and I didn't want yellow. There we go. You can also do the tree trunks in this colour, like that. See, this is working a lot better. Just throwing on colour, not thinking about it too much. Just throw on the colour. Just put the colour down. I could do with a kind of a greyish mauvey colour. So let's take some of this green and mix it with some of that purpley mauve and kind of throw it into those bits at in the background there. There we go. Kind of looks like trees in the distance. And add some more green to that, and then put some texture in here. There we go, that's working better. Now I'm going to grab some darker green and some of that brown and go back over this a bit more. I do kind of regret putting all that pen scribble in there, but I can cover it up with this, so I'm okay with it. It'll work. I actually like that dark brown a lot better for these trees, so let's throw some more of that in there. Add a bit more green on this side. There we go, that's working. Okay, better. Now, I think I need my little brush because I just want to do the frames and things because they look odd because they're not coloured. So I'm going to use this kind of yellow ochre colour that matches the walls. I'm just going to... There we go. It's a little bit too cheerful looking for the Bates house. I mean, it's very bright, but yeah, it's okay. Right there, and then we need a dark brown. Let's use this really dark brown here. Just to put in the shadows under these eaves under here. Don't overwork it, just put the colour in. There we go. That porch kind of has a brownish tinge to it, so we could probably do this bit under here in a dark brown. Maybe a little bit more than that. Oops, that's not the right dark brown. There's the right dark brown, there we go. Yeah, that's better. A bit more depth in there. Gradually getting lighter as it comes across because there's more light getting in there. There we go, that works. That works. I'm happy with that. A little bit in that bit there. Yes, okay. The windows. The windows all look kind of greyish. So why don't we just use a bit of Payne's Grey and throw that in the windows and call it a day. That is actually a curtain across there. There we go. Missed the crossbars again. And then what am I going to do with this? It looks white. That's the problem with it. It looks white. And I'm not sure I like the white. What can I do with it to make it not look quite so? Maybe if I add a bit more of that shadow mauve. I've got the shadow violet colour. Let's add a bit... Oh, I need a bigger brush. We're going to need a bigger brush. Let's take a bit of this. Let's not be stingy with it. It's a very light colour. even though it doesn't look it. Maybe if we add a bit more of this shadow violet to the stairs, it will make the banisters look a bit more like they're supposed to be white and not just haven't been painted. There we go. Bit of that under the trees there. Can even paint it over the trees. I love this shadow violet colour. You can paint it over anything. That's a bit more green variation down here since it is at the front. There you go. Came out a little warmer than I planned, but I'm a lot happier with this than any of the other urban sketching I've done recently, I can tell you. Let's have a look. Let's compare and contrast, shall we? So there we go. As soon as I tilt that up, it's swapped. That's not bad, is it? It's not bad. This window is so off. It should be tilting that way, and I've got it tilting that way. But I'm just going to ignore it and pretend it's not happening. Could do with a bit more depth on this side. The dark green that I used here could do with going in here, but it's a bit too wet to do it right now. This paper works okay with wet media, but it needs time to dry between layers. You can't get too gung-ho with it. But I'm only thinking I'll add... Actually, I could do it with quite a dry brush. Could probably do it. I take that colour and don't add extra water. Could probably add some more. There we go. Just some more depth into this side. Just between the bushes almost. And under the bushes. Down the side of the wall. In this corner here where you can't see what's going on. Couple of lumps and bumps. There we go. That's better. And now that looks 10 times better with that extra bit of dark. And now I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to stop and I'm not going to overwork it. Because that's what I always do with watercolours. Because I think, oh, when that dries, that's not going to look as good. No, we're not going to do it. We're not going to overwork it. We're not going in with gouache to tidy things up. We're not going to do that. We're going to leave it. I actually really like it. That yellow is a little bit obnoxious. I might, once it's all dry, I might just dampen that down a little bit and just block it down just a tiny bit. Only because that bit is it was a little bit too bright. But I like it. Actually, no. To hell with it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the rest of the orange obnoxious. I'm going to make the rest of the orange obnoxious and then I don't have to think about... There we go. Just make the rest of the orange as obnoxious. There we go. That's better. Done. Finished. Not doing anything more. Putting it down. Putting it down. Putting it down. I am now stopping and putting it... Look at me putting my brushes away. Look at me putting my brushes away. I'm putting the colour down. Look. Putting my brushes away. Over there in the pot where they go. Whoops. Throwing everything else on the floor. Watercolours going away. Going away. Going away. See? I'm much happier with this than anything else I've done recently. Because I didn't overwork it. You might have overworked it just a tiny bit. But nowhere near. Like 1/10 overworked as much as I would normally do. I'm very happy with myself that I managed to stop. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put here... Hi! I mean, do I need to write on it what it is? I do like to write on what it is. I will write it on the corner here. Technically, it's not Inktober, but it is also technically Inktober. So I'm going to write Inktober because I don't care. Inktober 2022. The Bates House Psycho. There we go. That's not too intrusive. I like that. I don't need to give it a massive title. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's cool. The car is a little weird. It got a bit stretch limo-y, but I don't care actually, because it does bring it up. You know, that's bugging me. That needs to be darker. I missed that when I was doing the shading. It's dry. I can just colour over it with pencil. There we go. Oh. There we go. That's it. Don't need to do any more. That's it. There we go. Done. Oh, don't forget the bit underneath because the boot's open. There we go. Done. And stopping. I should have done this bit, this dark colour in here, but that will do. The pencil will do. I really like it. Now I want to do another one. Have we got time to do another one? What time is it? 7:30. I haven't really got time to do another one, have I? It's kind of a shame because I would have liked to have time to do another one, but I'm just going to get rid of these lines. I'm not going to erase all of them, but just the bits that are sticking out on the corners. There we go. I'm happy with that. Put down the art supplies. That's right. Stop tweaking. Stop tweaking. I like the rough edge around it. What I've learned from this is that this is way more enjoyable to just throw it on and walk away. I like doing the rough pen sketches. That looks really good. I really like that. The layering technique that I use works really good. I don't need to add white. The white of the paper will do. And putting that border around it helped a lot in not having painted up to the edges kind of stuff. I like the vignette effect of allowing myself to paint over the edge of the border with some of it and not with other bits. What are we doing? Holy heck! What is going on, naughty dogs? You are a bad enabler, Katie. I could sketch another one. I could sketch another one. Do I want to sketch another one? I could just do the sketching of another one as opposed to the colouring as well. I could do that. Let's do an easy one, shall we? What have we got that's easy? What's on the list that we can do that's easy? Something easy. Something easy. It's got to be something that I'm convinced I could do fairly quickly. Something without too many angles and weird stuff. Maddie! I don't know what you're doing, but you're being very naughty. I feel like a couple of these would do well to be smaller pieces, like the Black Hills Hut, for instance. That could be a... Maddie, get down. I don't know why you're being naughty, but you need to get down. You're not hungry, you've got food. Nope, that's the emergency room. That's the hospital. Shadyside Mall. Here we go. Maddie! Goodness me, what's up with you? Please stop. Oh, yes, if I've sketched it, I've got something ready to do. Ooh, good idea. Good idea. Good idea. I like it. Okay. This is a nice, simple one to draw. This is going to be really easy. The hard part of this one is going to be the colouring. Watch it not send now. Sometimes it doesn't send, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's not going to send. So I'm going to have to find it on here now. I don't know what these dogs are up to, but they need to stop. Shadyside Mall, Fear Street. There we go. Image. There it is. That is going to be awesome. Okay. There we go. Now this is going to be interesting because this one, let's see if I can move my light. This one is a long composition. I almost feel like I could do it right the way across the page. And then maybe I can fit two smaller ones above it. Or I could just do it on one side and fit a smaller one above it. If I do it across the whole page, that's going to be right across the middle of the page. It's basically 4:1. 4:1 ratio. So if I do it the width of the page here, 18 divided by 4 is about 4.5. Oh god, that's tiny. It's only going to be that tall. Yeah, we're going to have to do it the whole width of the page then. Going to have to do this one the whole width of the page. It's a long, narrow composition. So let's do what we did last time. I kind of like the parking area in the front. I think that adds a little bit to the general thing. So let's add a parking area. Oh, done that the wrong way around. So here's my page border again, and then let's add kind of that much for the actually that's almost a third, so let's do that in thirds. Let's do, if that's the car park and the mall is 3 times the height of the car park, so it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually that will make quite good composition. Okay, so that's going to be the top of the mall there. So half of the mall, that top bit is just over half. So if this is, how tall is it? How tall is it? It's about 13. So if I say just over half, half of 13 is 6.5. So if I take it up to 5.5, about there, that'll work for the top of the bit. And then this is about half again, so that'll be that bit. You're reliving the Carrie School gym sketch. Oh, I've got the Bates High School for that one. That's going to be fun. Okay. This is like going to go right the way across the page. That's quite interesting. So, okay, so this is the bottom of the mall here. Bottom of the mall. Bottom of the thingy roof canopy, whatever it's called. Top of the thingy roof canopy, whatever it's called. And then in the middle there's this big chunk that is about a quarter overall. So let's say about there maybe. Yeah. And then that bit is a bit higher up, presumably because it sticks out over the top, so it's going to overhang, I think. Yeah, actually it comes down. It's got to be an overhang because it comes up higher, but it also comes down lower. So it's got to be closer. Those cows are small. Those cows are far away. Right? So that's the sign, and then we've got the top bit across here. To draw a straight line-ish across the page, anchor your hand, hold your hand still, and run the bottom of your hand along the bottom of your page. Make sure you don't give yourself a paper cut. Been there, done that. Okay, and then this is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent, because that's great. Okay, so one of them is about that wide. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3 and a bit, and 1, 2, 3 and a bit. I've ended up with 5. Why have I got 5 instead of 7? I don't know. Do I care? No. Let's just expand the page so we've only got 5. There you go. That's what we'll do. We'll just expand the page. It goes off the edge of the page. What can we do? Okay, so that's the top of the mall. And it's a straight line. So these bits are the bits that are curved in here, which is weird. Maddie, actually I can break that up into another. I can break that up a little bit more. I can fit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Done it. Oh, Maddie. Maddie just let one off. And oh my god. Like, what the hell have you been eating, dog? Okay, now we've got 7. There we go. I miscalculated. So now we can put this curvy bits in here. Like this. Curvy bits, curvy bits, curvy bits. The writing. Oh, there's a... Of course there's a circle right in the middle. I mean, why wouldn't there be? And then this is kind of there. That's where the writing is going to go. And then there's doors down here. Oh, there's a... You can see that bit there where it's shaded. That's where it comes down. And then we've got doors here. Of course there's a door in the middle because of course there is. Doors. And then under this bit there's a tree. That's just kind of that shape. And then over here there's, under this window there's a tree which is kind of that shape. And what's that? There's 2 little trees. Okay, so there's 2 little trees. There's a little tree here. I don't really know if it's a tree. It just kind of looks like a tree. It's weird. And then there's another one here. Maddie, stop, please. You're being naughty. And then there's a big old lamp post there, but I can't be asked to draw that because it's at a tangent with that. And then there's a little spindly tree. Oh, different foliage. Interesting. A variation of foliage in front of them all. Okay. And then this bit has a double edge. Oh, I could be doing this in pen, couldn't I? There's a line there. That's all covered up. And then there's police tape all the way across the front. From one tree to the other. And then there's all the red writing. So I think... Ready to rumble. Okay, here we go. Some nice straight lines and very geometric. Very 70s. This is what we come for. And okay, so this actually comes out a little bit here, and it's got kind of a pedestal thing at the bottom. Now, is it pedestal or is it like a welcome mat effect? Oh, it might be a welcome mat effect. Okay, these are windows in here. There we go. This has some extra detailing on here that you don't, you know, it's so weird how you don't see stuff until you start looking at it for like the 4th or 5th time. It's very strange. Okay, let's put the trees in at the front first. So this is a very definitely shaped tree, and then these are kind of weird. They've got weird shaped trunks like that, and then they almost kind of look like brooms coming out. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of palm tree or something. No idea. I'm just going to draw what I see. Draw what you see. It doesn't matter if it's right or not. Draw what you see. I see palm trees. Is anybody going to go and watch Fear Street to see if you drew the trees outside Shadyside Mall right? No. They're going to look at the name in the middle and go, oh, it's Shadyside Mall. And then proceed to either not know what the hell that is because they haven't seen Fear Street, or go, oh, that's from Fear Street. Or, you know, depending on what kind of nerd they are, they might go, oh, is that Fear Street or Stranger Things? Okay, this tree has also got a very distinct shape, but it's a very lopsided, odd shape. Like that. And then this is kind of spindly looking. With lots of branches like that. And not a lot of foliage. And it's all in clumps at the top, which is strange. And then we've got the, oops, bring those down a bit. There we go. And then we've got the top part here, and the top part here, and the, let's turn it upside down, it'll be a lot easier. The top part here. There we go. You can't really see what's going on here, so I'm just going to draw the struts and arches. Can't really see the details really. Say really one more time. I dare you. Trying to keep it nice and loose. And window frames have multiple bits to them, so it's a lot easier to just draw them like that. If you draw a single line, you have to make sure the single line is in the right place. If you draw several lines, you can approximate where the line is and the brain will just fill in the rest. If it sees double lines around something it thinks is a window, it will assume, oh, that's the window frame. That's meant to look like that. Okay, so then we've got the little logo in the middle here with it's got a circle in the middle and it's got a circle there and it's got a hill and then it's got things that kind of look like trees. And then it's got a, I don't know, it looks like it might be a sun or something. It's kind of yellowy. Yeah, that'll do. And now to do the writing. Now the writing is a whole other kettle of fish. If this was like a street sign in urban sketching, I would literally just, you know, it's block writing. I would just write it in block letters. But this actually does need to have a little bit of authenticity to it. So I'm going to kind of approximate. So the gap in the letters is about here. And the middle of this side is roughly, let's see. Middle is roughly where that bit of the white is. So then I will just write in the letters so that they fit in that space, basically. Shadyside. D doesn't quite fit because it's on the crease, but that's okay. And then there's a gap there, and then we've got, this is almost exactly in half, so let's give this a little bit more space. M A L L. There we go. And then we just write it in. So it is just block letters, so I'm not too worried about if I'm getting the shape of the letters completely accurate. But I do check things like, does the A have a flat top or a pointed top? Does it have a table leg like that? Shady. I'm deliberately moving the letters over a little bit so that I can get that D off the crease. I can hide the I in the crease easier. Okay, the E is actually pretty slim markings. Oh, that's a mess. Never mind. So the M has a flat top as well. A has a flat top and a table leg, and the L's are just blocks. Close enough. It did go a little bit weird at the bottom here. I went off at a funny angle. There we go, that's better. Shadyside Mall. Inktober 2022. Shadyside Mall, Thea Street. And I think the mall appears in all three of them, so I'll just put Thea Street. I'm not going to try and figure out which one. No, what am I doing that for? I don't need my phone. What do I need? I need to do something. Come on, brain. Come on, brain, think of things. Come on, brain, you're so smart. What was I doing? What was I doing? What was I doing? Oh, I missed a line. There is a line across here. Like that. That's because I waited to draw the trees in first, see? There we go. Now that's better, see? You've done 2 spreads in your journal. Woohoo! I have no idea how I'm going to colour this one because it's at night. Everything's going to be shades of grey. I'm going to have to think about that. Oh, I have just noticed actually that there is a sidewalk. Like that. Where the trees are. There we go. Maybe I won't colour this one at all. Maybe I will. I don't know. Not sure. Who knows? I've done 2. I'm really happy with this. Really happy with this. This is awesome. The car is weird, but the car looks like a Batmobile anyway, so how is it not weird? I actually like the fact that I used the bright yellow up there because it draws the eye up and makes you not look at the weirdness of the car. But that car is a weird shape. The whole of the back end of the car is a weird shape. You can't tell, because it's a white car, you can't tell where it turns. So it just all looks flat. It's very strange. This, how am I going to do this? I don't know. I might actually colour this one in pencils in order to get the shades of grey. I think that might be a way to go. I might do that. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this one. I'm not going to jump in and colour it now. Don't worry. It's 10 to 8. I need to go and eat. My dogs are whining. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to think about this. I don't know how I'm going to handle doing this one. Maybe it needs to just be in pen. Coloured pen. Not coloured pen, but coloured in pen. Black pen. If your mess is already clean, Cody, you didn't make a mess. I'm going to call it a day there. I'm pretty happy. I'm very happy with what I've done. Let me just check what days I've done. So this is number... Actually, I'm not going to label them as days. I just want to know for when I post them. So where is Thea Street? Is Maddie number 25. And Psycho is number 22. So, of course, I've done the ones that are right at the end. But that's okay. I think I can... I've got plenty of space in here to do all of these in this book. And then that finishes this book. Awesome. Quick tidy up. That and that in there. That in there. That in there. That back in there. Those live there. That's done. Might do some more. I'm like, I know. It's a bit addictive drawing these, to be honest. I'm going to be finished them before October at this rate. Right, thanks for joining me, guys. I'm going to stop there. Like I say, if you want the link, if you want the list... Oh, actually, I could post the list on today's post over on Coffee. And then I'll add it to the links down below in the description if you're not on... If you're watching this and you're not on my Discord, then I'll follow the link in Coffee and I'll add it to this post. That's it. If you're in When Frogs Sing, I'll see you tomorrow. And otherwise, see you next week. Bye, guys.